Hey guys, it's Jordan Lasewski, your host of Whitetail Passion TV podcast, back at you with another podcast here, sitting at our home in Arcadia, Wisconsin, along with my co-host.
Oh, yeah, it's me again, Connor. I'm back. I've been on most of them, so it's really nothing new.
I think you've been on every one but one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just us two again. I wanted to get Mikhail on, but she's busy. That's our sister. Keeping this only family-oriented so far. But it's kind of hard to find guests. Everybody seems to be busy on a Wednesday night. So, I guess we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with in the in the future episodes. I know we have a couple of Connor's friends who are big hunters that we're going to try and get on. But, yeah, anyways, a little update so far. Turkey season's 2 weeks away. The 17th, I believe. 17th through the 23rd.
I think I got spring break during that, too.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure.
Too bad it's first season you didn't apply.
Yeah.
But
I
the
didn't
week,
get my tag yet. Yeah, the
week before is a youth hunt. And we've been seeing turkeys out every single night. And good birds, too. I actually got some footage of two toms who had the beards dragging on the ground. It might be one hell of a year this year.
Dad said that a few nights ago that he said he saw some birds strutting. Fanned out.
Right up here, wasn't it? Right above the house, too.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So, yeah, it might be a really, really fun year this year. See a lot of birds, a lot of action. It's right around the corner. I noticed, too, their heads were kind of, a turkey's head turns different colors when they're angry or when there's other birds around or a hen comes in, it turns red. Otherwise, it's kind of bluish, reddish mix. And I noticed on these birds, they even though they were together, they didn't do any strutting. They weren't fanned out. And the heads were more blue than what they were red. They weren't very active in a mating manner, as one could say. So
yeah.
that kind of makes me wonder how soon this is going to pick up. And maybe it's better if it's a little bit later. You get more opportunities towards the end of the year.
Yeah, whenever I walk home, I see birds out, but I really don't. I haven't seen many fanned out. I've probably seen two.
Two fanned out. I seen a bird on my way home one night. It was all fanned out. Besides that, that's the only one I've seen all year that's been fanned out.
Yeah, I haven't seen barely any.
It's just been one of them years so far, but sometimes that's a good sign, just like the rut when it's a little bit later. You get more opportunities during the time frame it's supposed to be in. But now for somebody like me, you might not get a chance. Second season might be the first time them birds start really getting active and leave their groups and try and pick out one hen, because I'll tell you what, it'd be super hard to try and hunt a flock of 35 birds all together with 4 toms and a bunch of eyes and heads looking at you.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty tough, I think.
They've been really bunched together. They're at least, I mean, across the creek I've seen a lot. Just
yeah,
really.
They're all in big groups yet. They're
Yeah.
not in one monstrous group like they used to be, but there's still 30, 40 birds a group.
Yeah.
Maybe not 150 or 200 like in the winter when they all pull up and sit on our flat and eat the manure, but yeah, there is a ton of groups out there with 20, 30, 40 birds with 3 or 4 toms a flock.
Yeah.
You know what's real crazy? 3 or 4 weeks ago on one of our episodes we were talking about this, and sounded like we were gonna have foot and a half of snow left on the ground.
Yeah, now there's barely anything. Most of it's melted.
Currently on the north side, I think there's maybe 2 to 4 inches if you're lucky in places where there used to be drifts. Most of the snow is all gone, and they're talking 70 degrees this weekend.
Yep. I think, I mean, besides for the north side, there's really not much snow left except for where the banks were in that. There's really not much left.
Yeah, there's, unless you had snow piled 20 feet high, there's not much left anywhere, which is crazy.
Yeah, how much it melted that fast.
I know.
There's a
over
lot of
a period of
flooding.
what, 2-3 weeks maybe.
Yeah, I mean most of it melted in a few days because when Centerville flooded over.
Yeah, we
was
got that
just-
rain. That rain and 55 degree weather really helped, but
Yeah, if you know the landscape where Centerville is, like there's just valleys and all that water had to come from those valleys and just straight through Centerville, which
yeah, there was a lot of flooding, a lot of issues went on this year. But anyways, getting a little off topic there. Let's touch on our shed hunting adventure so far. We found a few good ones, found a few little peewee sheds.
yeah, what did we walk, like a mile? And
Yeah, we had one rough day where we walked 1.5 miles and we didn't find anything. And then Connor split up with me and he went back to the house. I went out for another walk. I ended up walking 8.5 miles that day. I found 2 dead deer, 1 small buck.
and you cut the
Yeah, I cut the horns off. It was just a little 4-pointer. But if anybody out there tries to comment or say it's CWD driven, I don't think so, because these were really young deer, very small skulls, maybe a 1.5 year old, or that doe that I found might have been even last year's fawn in all reality. And I think it's just the winter was so harsh for just enough time that they just couldn't make it through. And that's what happens. Sometimes Mother Nature can be cruel. But, yeah, so we've had a decent year so far. We're not going to say any numbers or giving too much of an update because we're going to have a video out on our shed hunting adventure so far. And that we're still in the process of filming. It's kind of hard to, walk 8.5 miles, get a bunch of film, a bunch of B-roll, and then almost have to scrap all of it because you found 1 dead deer. I don't even know if we're gonna put that in there. We'll see. But man, oh man, we've had a fairly good year. Not nearly as good as past years. Kind of got me down the dumps. I learned a pretty good chunk of information the other day. Somebody told me that the real good way to tell when horns are gonna fall off, and this doesn't stand for every single buck, because every buck is different. They have, darker horns, some have lighter, but apparently he said the majority of the bucks that you're gonna see with horns still on are going to be natural colored until the last week to 3 weeks before they fall off. Then they're going to turn like a pure white. That's why sometimes in the wintertime you see these bucks and their racks just pop out because they're pure white. They're that really nice ivory looking type deal. And I guess it just the loss of nutrition and the loss of, they lose their blood flow through their... Once their velvet falls off, they don't have blood flowing through their horns anymore. Like through a growth stage, it's just bone. But I guess once they lose enough... I don't know how to word it. Once they lose enough of their No, what's a word I'm trying to think of? It's almost like cartilage up there. Once they lose enough of that cartilage, it's just like a tooth, like with your gums.
Yep.
Once you lose enough of that nutrition going there that weakens it, it dies off and the antler falls off and a new one grows back. So it turns pure white for some reason just because there's enough.
Yeah, I'm looking at our horns and you can kind of tell that.
Yeah, you can tell they're very, very white. Every single horn is really white towards the end. You know, the bases are still somewhat dark on some of them, but
if you compare like these ones that we got in front of our TV compared to the head mounts, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, you can tell the natural color's still there in most of these deer.
I mean, that one's probably the whitest, I'd say.
Those were horns too.
Yeah.
Those were horns found that we had mounted on a buck. But yeah, it's just it was something new. I never got the full down details on it, but it's something I never knew. It has something to do with just losing that cartilage, and the horns start to become bleached in a sense because they don't keep that natural color. It's just like your hair. You know, your hair has nutrients in it too that make it stay the color that it is, and the older you get, the whiter or grayer it gets because it loses them. And I thought that was kind of neat. That was something cool that I learned that I never knew before. I just thought all the horns were white just because they laid out there in the sun kind of took care of them. But it's a mixture between, they get bleached by the sunlight and laying out there. And just the loss of nutrients through the horns. And I can't believe that the horns keep nutrients after they lose their velvet because there's no blood flow through them.
Yeah.
Or it's just bone, but I guess your bone's the same way. Calcium makes your bones bigger and stronger, and it's the same way, even though it's not really a living body part that really takes any blood flow through it. It's there and it's living in a sense. I guess it grows and it needs nutrients to adjust, but I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Anyways, what are your plans? You haven't really talked to me much about your turkey hunting plans here neither. Why don't you tell me and everybody at the same time?
I'll probably try and maybe for the youth hunt, either you or Scott, I'll try and maybe get in with Scott and go somewhere with you.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You gotta get to town and get a tag because that's coming up fast.
Yeah, I told Dad we should stop it and go get one when you were there, but he just went to the store and we went home.
Yeah, we'll have to stop there and get that for you.
Yeah.
Now, do you practice your calling at all or anything? No?
Never really learned how to call.
I can't believe Scott never taught you, because I know we've never been turkey hunting before.
Yeah, me and you haven't, no.
I've been so busy the last couple of years, I just haven't had time to get out. Now, this year, we're going full force, full action.
When's your tag for Minnesota?
Minnesota's the week after Wisconsin.
Alright.
So that should be one fun time, too.
What is it? What?
Second season B. Yeah. But now, I'm debating. One of my buddies, he told me that you buy a Minnesota bow license, you can hunt all the seasons. So, I'm debating whether I purchase that tag or I just go and buy a bow license and I get a chance to kill a turkey for sure at some point. But, it's kind of one of them situations, even though you go out, you get a couple opportunities with a bow. There's still no guarantees, There's nobody saying you're going to go out there and kill one with a bow and they might actually come in and you might miss that you would have killed with a gun. And vice versa. You go out with a gun, you only get a couple days, a couple chances to try and kill one, and you might not get any opportunities. So, I don't know, I'm kind of debating what to do, but I'll decide here fairly quickly. And I wasn't really paying attention too much when the time periods were. I knew it was sometime in April, early April, and I thought it was coming up faster than what it is. We still got 2 weeks. I was nervous. I thought it was out of time, but I guess I got a little bit of time yet. I have nothing ready. I have all the clothes ready, all the decoys, but just mentally I'm not ready. I'm not ready there yet. As much as I've watched the birds, I just don't feel like I'm ready to go and sit down on the side of the woods and start calling for them.
Yeah. When you found those 2 dead deer, they ripped.
Oh, hide. Yeah, they were
'Cause
still fairly new because the hide was still on both of them.
Really? Because there must be, if you go look, I bet you there's a lot of piles of bones because all I hear is cows yelping whenever I'm outside and that. Just, they go nuts across the creek.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how we had such a good winter. We haven't heard many coyotes, and now it's just been absolutely crazy. This spring's been awful for coyotes. Normally during the mating season, you see a bunch of them and you hear a bunch of them, and now it's just. I think they're hungry is the issue.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of. Even for a coyote, you would think that you'd have easy prey with white-tailed deer, but them coyotes have a hard time moving around too.
Yeah.
And if there's no food where you are, you have to search for it, and being on your feet all the time looking for deer.
Yeah.
That's hard. And it's hard for a coyote to kill a deer. Even a pack of them sometimes. So it's just one of them things that.
Yeah, whenever I'd look outside at deer just sitting there in the winter, I really thought that one of them could get picked off or something like that, but.
Well, I mean, it's happened. Not even really that. That it's just it's crazy that you would think that the deer would, and they are an easier target when there's that much snow. They really are, but you would think more of them will be killed than what there is. But at the same time, the coyotes have the same environment to fight as the deer. And if there's no deer where the coyotes are, coyotes could be looking every wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Yeah, and the snow really hasn't helped any animals because just tracking through all that and that, they must get pretty tired and just getting weak and stuff.
Now, to talk about something else too, we went to a Whitetails banquet. That was a pretty good time. You want to give a little rundown on that?
Oh yeah. When was it? Last weekend or?
I don't even know. Just we went.
So, last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, we went to this banquet and they had raffles that you could enter, and so I entered one, and then there's a youth one, and then Jordan entered a bunch. So the one I entered in, I didn't win anything. It was one of the corner things that had like 5 or 6 guns on it, and there's one on the back left or first. We went up to the youth.
I'll give a little better rundown here what it is. So it's a Whitetails Unlimited banquet, and basically the proceeds go back to the Whitetails Unlimited Foundation, and a lot of these events that they put on, and they're in different counties and different areas of Wisconsin and all across the whitetail states. You go to them, and a lot of it goes back to the youth days, so youth hunts and all of those type of deals and events that they have. So in September, they usually have a gun hunt on certain farms, and you get special tags for the youth to go on their first hunt or their first couple hunts. And pretty much it's just an event where you purchase a ticket. As soon as you purchase it, you get into a gun raffle, and there's also all you can eat food basically, which is great food. Connor loves the ribs. Mm-hmm. I love the ribs. And they have different gun raffles you can go around and buy into, and I usually try and buy in every one. And Connor, he didn't want to spend no money this year.
I won $20 at the door. We all did. Me, you, and Michaela did. And then I said, well, I came here with $20, and if I spend $20, I'll break even. So I just entered one raffle.
Connor enters one raffle, plus he gets in the youth raffle. He will in the next couple of years. Michaela entered 0 raffles, but she got into the youth raffle. Michaela won 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you won last year.
Yeah. 2 years in a row.
So 2 years in a row, the Osowski household has won 22s.
Mm.
And then to make the night better, we get to the last standing booth that they're going to do a giveaway on. And because everybody else decides, no, I'm only buying one raffle for one booth, or I'm not buying anything because I don't want to spend money, Jordan goes up there, purchases a ticket at every one, spends maybe $200, $180, but gets to come home with a brand new Browning BAR Safari 270, which is worth like $1,300.
But you missed
So I smoked all of you out of the water in your logic of not purchasing.
You missed out one part. So we were sitting there, and I think they're going around and getting it for the walk around raffle.
No. That was, they gave away a Creedmoor and a 243.
No, but they
never did a walk around for that. That was that booth only gun.
Oh,
you can only win the 5 guns that they have at the booth.
No. They were picking up. They're going around and getting tickets for the one. I don't know. It was like that. Like flag design thing.
The 6.5 AR with the American flag.
Yeah.
The patriotic dip.
So they were going around, and it was getting to the was it that? Well, they're doing something.
It don't matter.
And it was getting to that. It was getting to the end of the night, and that was like the last raffle that they were gonna do, and before that, and then Jordan. I don't know. Did I say something or you said something? And
you said, wouldn't it be nice if you won that gun? And I was like, yeah. I'd like to win the gun in the back. And he goes, oh yeah, because there was another 6.5 there. And I really want a 6.5 for some stupid reason. I like the gun. And even though I don't know, I'd end up using it. And I'd probably put the 270 to retirement. But, anyways, they go and draw for the 165, and I don't win. And Connor looks at me and goes, huh. What? How would you say it?
I can't remember what I said, but you said, I said like, you lost or something, and then you go, yeah, well, the most expensive gun here is still on the rack back there.
I said, well, that's alright, Connor. The most expensive gun is back there in the corner. He goes, yeah, you aren't going to win. Well, sure shit. We get to that booth, and the first one was 1500509, and that was my middle ticket. And I could not believe it. And I had a hard time choosing between. So 4 years ago I won my first gun there. That was the first year I ever went. I won an AR, which I really wanted an AR-15 at the time. It worked out perfect. This past year, then I went 2 more years, didn't win anything. But last year Michaela won at 22, or Connor won at 22, and this year Michaela won at 22. So we came out ahead every year almost. This year, I had a hard time when I won deciding, do I take the $1,300 gun or the $700 gun, but the $700 gun was a 6.5. And I really want a 6.5, but logically I can always trade. I want a pistol and a 6.5, so I can always trade this gun in on a new bow or a pistol and a 6.5 or whatever I want. So I had to take it, but now that I have it, I don't know if I'm going to get rid of it.
It's really nice, though.
It is. And it's an awesome gun. It's sweet. I don't think I'm ever going to shoot it.
No,
I
it
just
looks so nice. So it looks so.
I know, and that's the thing. I don't have any woodstock guns. It's a semi-auto. I'm gonna have a hard time breaking that thing in because it's one of those guns that like you don't want to shoot because it's so nice, but you never buy because who's gonna spend $1,300? Well, there's people that do, gun collectors. I'm not a collector. I'm a shooter. I'm a hunter. But what am I gonna do with a $1,300 gun? But then I think about it at the same time. What the hell am I gonna do with a 6.5 when I got a 270? It works just fine. Killed a lot of deer with that 270. I'm pretty comfortable with it. That 6.5 would be one hell of a gun to take out west though. That'd be fun. You shoot a long ways with it. But I think if I went elk hunting, I want to go public land, bow hunting.
How far does that 6.5 shoot?
I think they shoot with like. Depends on the round. There's a lot of variables, but I've heard that you can shoot 800 yards with 7 inches of drop, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And that might be false too, depending on what he had it sighted in at and everything else, the round, the load. But man, if you're only dropping 7 inches at 800 yards, that's crazy. Crazy. I mean, my 270's dropping 16 inches at 400, 17 inches at 400. You're talking 4 feet at 800 yards, 5, 6 feet maybe. I've never shot a 270 that far. That's just, that's outrageous to me. And I don't know if that's true or not. You know, it's just what one of my buddies said when he shot it. He might have been drunk at the time. He likes to drink a lot of Jack and Diet Coke, but I'm not going to state any names. I mean, he's not an alcoholic or anything, just kind of a class 1 jag. But yeah, that's a long ways of traveling for 7-inch bullet drop. Maybe I misheard it too. Maybe it's more. I would love to think it's more because that's insane.
Yeah, but all the guys before you were talking to the group of guys that we were buying. They're like, don't sign the paper because you can always trade in because they thought it was some crappy gun. But then you brought it back and they're like, oh, that's so nice, that's so pretty. Good thing you didn't. Listen
I know I don't see the true value in the gun. Like the thing I look at it as is, I love to upgrade my bow this year. Get the Vertex. That'd be nice. I'd love to get a pistol. I'd love to get a 6.5. There's so many things. Now, if this was a 300, I'd be so happy. Maybe I could trade it in on a 300. They're only $100 more. But at the same time, it's like, what am I going to do with... You know, I don't see the value in what's there, I guess, in a sense. Yeah. I don't like to shoot semi-autos. I don't like woodstock guns. I don't like engraved guns. For all the reasons that a gun's supposed to go out in the field with you. It's supposed to take a beating and still perform. I'm not saying that this gun won't perform, but man, why spend that much money on a gun that you're going to take out and it's going to get beat up? So I'm thinking about putting one hell of a bipod on it in a Razor HD Vortex scope and making that thing worth a little over $3,000, but having one hell of a setup.
Yeah.
Just for long range shots. And
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you did decide to trade it in, I think you should go for the pistol and the 6.5, because I think you can wait off a year or two on the bow, because you still got a pretty snazzy bow.
I know. I was going to buy the Triax on that auction too, but
yeah,
the old neighbor beat me out on that bidding.
Yeah.
But anyways, you definitely... Those are some fun events to go to, and they go towards great causes. Make sure you check them out in your area or wherever you're at. You know, you spend money, but at the same time you get great food. You see a lot of people. There's always alcoholic beverages there for of-age people. And, it's just a good time. You get to see people and you're donating to a great cause. The more you buy, the more you do, the more you're giving back. And that's one of those things that's one of those situations where you're giving back and having a good time. And let's say you do win a gun, all them guns are donated. You don't realize how much you're giving back until you actually sit down and think about it. You donate $200, $300, $400 by buying into gun raffles. That's all money going towards a youth hunt for some kid who doesn't get an opportunity to do those things and gets an opportunity to get out in the woods and the outdoors and hunt for the first time and grab a hold of the sport and love it for the rest of their life. But alright, Connor, you got any concluding thoughts?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing you want to tell anybody? You don't want to say anything? No goodbyes?
I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
You gonna turkey hunt this year?
Yeah,
Or are you just pulling all of our legs?
I'm gonna turkey hunt.
I bet you don't kill a turkey. Because I bet you buy a license, you go out for about 2 hours on the first day, you get skunked, and you're done. You quit the rest of the season.
I bet you $20 I won't. I'm not saying I'm the bag of turkey, but I bet you I'm the...
I'll tell you what, I'll hold you to your word. I'll drag your ass out of bed every single day so you can go out and turkey hunt during your seasons. Well, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up there for this week. We didn't have too much to talk about, nothing too special. Just keeping everything updated. But we're definitely going to get a new little group going here with some different people and some different topics. It's kind of hard to touch on some just detailed topics or conservation type topics because this goon doesn't like to study for anything or research anything, and I don't want to talk to you guys by myself, so I just let Connor come on here and BS a little. He's pretty good at it. I know his buddies like to hear him talking. He's talking a lot more. He's doing a great job. Proud of him. But maybe Easton would be a good one.
Oh yeah, Easton.
Easton. That's all he does is live in the outdoors. Him and Ryan.
He said that he's got to come on and crush the ice outdoors and outfish you guys.
Yeah, he probably could. Man, fishing's been tough too.
Yeah.
High water, all that rain. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week or the week after. We'll see what our upload schedule's like coming up here. Gonna be really busy with hunting and getting stuff ready, but man, oh man, it's gonna be a good time. Can't wait. But thank you for the support. Thanks for tuning in. It's kind of a wacky episode. We didn't know what we were going to talk about at first, but we got something accomplished. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.